Welcome everyone to the Halls of Injustice number 9. Yes, I finally decided to leave number 8 behind because I can't be bothered to wait for another Lori Vallow update. Today we're going to discuss one that really gets under my skin. And we're going to discuss it because it does raise some rather interesting points from my video on Amy's life journey. Some very annoying points as well. But I do believe there are limitations. I'm going to say now, this 1-minute clip you're about to see is the guarantee this video got demonetized. I don't like parents that hit children. I really don't. That is your warning. The video is 1 minute long, so if you don't want to see it, skip now.
Y'all hear that, right? My 2-year-old just got her ass beat. Because no matter how many times I tell her not to mess with my makeup, she never fucking listens. I put it away to where she can't find it. And what does she do? She finds it. At this point, I need a freaking safe with a combination on it to keep her out of it. She has ruined 2 pallets of mine, and one of them is being discontinued. 1 second. My hand hurts because I just beat the crap out of her.
Deep breath, everyone. Yes, you were right. The child was beaten over 2 pallets, one of which was limited and rare and like a Pokemon shiny card. So naturally the child totally deserved the whooping that the child received. Totally. I'm going to give you some anecdotal evidence of how one does what they do without losing control of their temper. You see, I live with 2 of my sisters, who themselves have 3 daughters. I stop and start when I record an awful lot. I do this because of the noise they generate. I don't go downstairs and make demands though. I don't lose control. In fact, my niece has very recently damaged something of mine. But it doesn't bother me that it's damaged, not because it's not limited or something like that or special. It's my ukulele. I like it and I do play it. But simply because they are children and I am very much aware that they need to learn through understanding and not through violence, which is where I am at odds with a number of people who replied in the comments to using violence, physical violence, on a child in the Amy's Life Journey video. I am, and will always be, vehemently against it. I will not support it. Like doxing, I will not condone it. I will not allow it. If I see it, I will stop it. I have done it before, and I don't believe that man ever struck his child again. There are rules. My rule is, I know how strong I am. I wouldn't hit an adult because I know how strong I am. You should never seek to harm a child because even though you're whamming, you can still generate a considerable amount of power to a child who is not only smaller, their pain threshold much lower, their durability also significantly lower, but also because it is a form of bullying. It is not a way of getting a child to comply. People who say it is seem to think it's acceptable for fear to dictate a child's life. It is not acceptable. Understanding is far more beneficial and in the long term rewarding. Those that disagree with me on this, that's fine. We are well within our rights to disagree. Maybe because I'm not a parent, I've yet to endure this relentlessness that comes from a child wanting to be around me and doing things that they don't understand, which they have to understand by being told in a way that they eventually get. Comprehension isn't exactly something a child instantly gets, and beating them doesn't mean they comprehend either. It just means they are always going to look over their shoulder. Oh, but that might be good, because now they're always in a state of panic and worry, because it is well established that anxiety is totally okay for a child to experience early on and grow up with, because they're totally afraid of their parents. The role of a parent is not to beat a child. You made a conscious decision to bring a life into this world that does not give you the right to to beat them. And in before somebody inevitably says, "Oh, but you're telling us how to raise our children." Yes, I am. Because it is not okay to beat a child. When I was doing the research with White Sith Male for the Amy's Life Journey video, I reached out to one of my lovely, lovely patrons called Sploogey McSploogeface. They very kindly, because they have some experience in the area and know people who also work in the field in the States, looked into state law for beating children. Turns out it's okay in certain states depending on certain mitigating factors. Michelle Grace, you're here because no. My Halls of Injustice series is for anyone that breaks what I believe to be a law. Beating a child is there. In fact, it's almost at the top. Almost. Can anyone take a wild guess what beats that? 10 points to your respective Hogwarts house if you get it. Michelle Grace, over a pallet. I am honestly going to say this here. There are people who support beating children that find this to be sickening. Over pallets. I was trying to rack my brain to find a false equivalence that I could compare it to, but in reality, everything a child does is because a child doesn't understand. Some, of course, then make conscientious decisions because they're mischievous little buggers, but that doesn't entitle you to administer beatings. I'm sure many of my comments can decide the sentence for this, by the way, Michelle, and I promise you, you're not going to like it. I should say this now. For those who saw the video, and obviously know the name of the creator, do not go to her channel to abuse her. I know some of you will say, but she deserves it. Don't. I will not condone harassing another creator, you know that. I'll put her on blast, and if you see this, Michelle, which I sorely hope you do, grow up. Behaviour like this makes you a bad parent. It is not okay over pallets. It is not okay over anything, really, is it? Think about it. You hurt yourself, now imagine what you did to your child, because if you hurt your hand, it is more than likely you've left a significant series of marks on your child. If you want to be a better mother, develop patience. If you want to be a better mother, learn to nurture better, educate better. How about you just go and buy the book Parents for Dummies? Or, if you can't be a better mother, give your child to somebody who will. I will not ever be okay with what you did, or anyone that does that. And while I am okay with people holding a different opinion to my own, I say it as someone that grew up getting hit. I didn't appreciate it and I didn't learn from that. I learnt from other people explaining it to me, which, as it turns out, if you treat a child like an adult and speak to them with a modicum of respect, children seem to be more receptive to it. Who would have believed it? Give them that inkling of humanity, and they positively respond to it. I can't imagine why. As I'm done here, I do want to know what you believe the sentence should be. So please do tell me in the comments down below. There is a new video on Moisky Live. I am streaming on Twitch and on Moisky Live later today. If you are at all interested in joining me, links to both down below. Hope you'll have a fantastic Friday and subsequent weekend. And thank you all, except for Michelle Grace. Oh, and by the way, my sentence? Life. Thank you all for listening.